Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell. More like Friday the 13th, when the franchise actually goes to hell. Jason Goes to Hell came out in the very early 90s when the slasher genre was honestly starting to get less and less popular. People were tired of the franchise and its oversaturation of cliches and basically it being the same thing over and over and over again. And this is when Paramount, the film company which started Friday the 13th, lost its rights to New Line Cinema, who actually owned Nightmare on Elm Street. This is when honestly, things just get weird. This is literally the weirdest part of the franchise. So the movie starts with this girl going into the abandoned Camp Crystal Lake. I don't know why. I mean, there's literally no explanation to it. Whatever. Where she comes across our hero character. I mean, he's not a hero, but whatever. Who honestly looks worse for wear at this point. This is not my favorite look of Jason, but it is kind of cool that he has, basically the mask looks like it's infused onto his face. It is a little bit cool, but I think they could have done a little bit better with the look. It almost looks like Jason has a tumor all around his head.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
So Jason chases after the girl, where with a little bit of a surprise, a whole bunch of lights turn on, the military comes out, and they bomb the crap out of Jason! Oh my gosh! Like, I didn't see that coming! Like, this is literally like, wow! Honestly, I think it would have been better if they saved it for the end of the movie, because that would have been awesome, but no! Instead, we have basically a whole nother hour of this freaking crap fest! Jason is taken to the morgue where he's in little tiny pieces, and the mortician is basically just like, you know, going through the body parts and all that fun jazz, where for some odd reason he gets like hypnotized by Jason's heart, which is still beating, and he eats it. So after the mortician eats Jason's heart, somehow he winds up getting possessed by Jason. What the hell is going on? So, the mortician, now possessed by Jason, is killing everybody. Okay, weird. Actually, really funny, one of the security guards is actually Kane Hodder.
He wasn't nothing but a big old pussy anyway.
It's kind of funny that he's making fun of Jason and actually gets killed by, well, the mortician who's possessed by Jason. So we're introduced to our title characters. Oddly enough, there's not really a final girl in this movie. There is a final girl in the movie, but honestly, she kind of takes a back seat to a male character, who's honestly the main character of the movie. I mean, he comes out of nowhere, he's no Tommy Jarvis, but still, gotta take what you can get. The movie is just so out there. It's so hard to explain, you kind of have to watch it. The main plot is that Jason apparently is trying to get his body back. And the main way he does it is basically French kissing people, where he's not actually French kissing people, where a demon basically comes out of his mouth, goes into another body, and the other body just is possessed by Jason, apparently. His main mission is to find another Voorhees.
Those FBI idiots destroyed Jason's body, so now he needs a new one. The ones he's jumping in and out of, they can't last. Jason needs to be reborn again, and he needs Jessica to do it.
Wait a minute, there's more Voorhees? Voorheeses? Jeez, that would have been nice to know in all of the other movies. Nowhere else is it mentioned in any of the movies that Jason apparently had siblings, or other relatives. It was only been stated that he only had his mother. He winds up finding one of his relatives where apparently he's supposed to possess her, and if he possesses her, automatically he'll get his body back. Okay, weird rules, but whatever. Jason is rudely interrupted by the main character, who winds up getting blamed for the girl's murder. Jason is now at this point just trying to find other bodies that he can possess, so that way he can finally get his hands on another Voorhees. Voorhees. That's basically the rest of the plot of the movie. He's just hopping from body to body, killing stupid teenagers and a whole bunch of other stuff, until finally the conclusion of the movie shows up, where apparently they go to the original house that Pamela Voorhees used to live in. There's a very interesting tidbit in this movie. Apparently at one of the points when the main character is at the Voorhees house, he sees the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead from the Evil Dead series. What? I mean, that's awesome! Were the filmmakers trying to tell us that Friday the 13th and the Evil Dead franchise are in the same universe? I mean, I would love to see that! That would be so awesome if I could see Ash Williams from the Evil Dead franchise go toe-to-toe with Jason Voorhees. Fun fact, they did actually make a comic book crossover called Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, where Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Ash Williams from the Evil Dead series all combat one another, and the comic book series is awesome, but maybe that's something I'll review at a different time. So, the main girl is told by this hunter named Duke, who apparently has been hunting Jason Voorhees all of his life. Sorry if I didn't mention him earlier, but honestly, none of the franchise mentioned him earlier either. One of the things I honestly really just don't like about this movie is that it's trying to reinvent itself by adding in too much information that we just don't know about. It's trying to say, yes, this movie takes place right after Jason Takes Manhattan, but you have never met or heard of any of these other characters in the entire franchise. So the final girl of the movie is given a knife, which turns into a weird demonic knife because she's a Voorhees, apparently. And she's the only one who apparently can kill Jason Voorhees. Okay, well, we'll go about this and see if it actually freaking works. Jason shows up in the possessed body, and she accidentally winds up killing this innocent guy, and this weird slug thing comes out of the possessed body, and like, that's Jason Voorhees? This weird, like, worm slug thing with arms? What the hell is this movie? Jason winds up going down into the basement where, unfortunately, the body of the other Voorhees woman is down there.
That part about being reborn through a Voorhees woman, does it have to be a living woman?
Somehow, the woman goes through a sex change and becomes Jason Voorhees. Okay. Where Jason basically tries to kill our last two heroes. It doesn't work. The lead female winds up killing him and sends him to hell. Honestly, the climax is a little bit cool with puppetry and a lot of like the other cool animatronic stuff that's going on, which, you know, drags Jason apparently into hell. It's really cool, but it's just been a very weird journey to get to this point. It's just so annoying. This movie is stupid! The last shot of the movie is, I have to say, probably the best thing of the movie. And I don't mean that very lightly. This is a very cool shot of the movie. Basically, the camera just focuses in on Jason's mask where the sand is just passing right over. It's a very dramatic and well-made shot. And then comes the best part of the movie. Freddy's gonna burst Jason! Alright, so just to go ahead and tell you, this movie's a piece of crap. It literally is. It's the biggest piece of crap in the entire franchise. I hate this movie. It's stupid. It makes no sense. And it takes one big giant dump on top of the whole franchise as a whole. It really is stupid. The only cool part about the movie was the end where Freddy Krueger's glove comes up out of nowhere and drags his mask down into the sand. The only reason why it's cool is because it's leading up to arguably one of the best movies of the franchise, Freddy vs. Jason. Which, if you can guess, is the next movie for tomorrow. This has been the Valley of Death, where everything is spooky, but we keep things light. I'll see you later for arguably the best movie in the whole Friday the 13th franchise.